Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have something special for you, a deep dive into the recent episode of Shannon Sharpe's podcast, Club Shay Shay, featuring the one and only KATT Williams. This podcast, spanning nearly 3 hours, is a roller coaster of comedy, raw insights, and controversial opinions. KATT Williams never one to hold back, dishes out bold statements about fellow celebrities, dives into the complexities of artivism, and shares personal stories that will leave you wanting more. Stick around as we break down some key highlights and controversies from this explosive podcast. KATT Williams doesn't shy away from tackling the tough issues, and one of the major highlights in his criticism of artivism in America, he calls out injustice in the criminal justice system and even accuses some fellow comedians of stealing jokes from their counterparts. The question is, does his boldness make a positive impact or steer the pot? Now, KATT Williams has made some bold statements, even accusing Kevin Hart of being a puppet and selling his soul to Hollywood. Now, before we get into this video, please do me a favor by liking, sharing, and subscribing to stay updated with our thought-provoking content. Brace yourselves as we dive into this video. I'll meet you at the end of this video to give you a breakdown and give you some insights. Let's roll.
KATT Williams went on Club Shay Shay and exposed all the comedians. Let's talk about it. It says Steve Harvey had on a wig this whole time. Basically, Steve Harvey stopped doing comedy because KATT Williams exposed his wig. He had to do that. Steve said that he was homeless at some point. Apparently, he was never homeless. Called him Mr. Potato Head. I mean, he went in on him. Steve said how his current wife got him to where he is right now. He said that about the first wife. Then he said Cedric the Entertainer stole his joke. He used to hate on Bernie Mac when he was alive. Said that he was built like a walrus. And how is he an entertainer, but he ain't got no specials on Netflix or Tubi? He don't know how to sing. He don't know how to act. He don't know how to do nothing. How are you an entertainer? He said Earthquake is illiterate. That's why he not in a lot of shows or movies. I don't even know what Faison did, but he caught strays. He said that he even got no specials or no nothing. He can't even talk. He said both Ricky Smiley and Tyler Perry can only play bro. I'm sorry. I cannot stop laughing trying to make this video, bro. Ricky Smiley and Tyler Perry can only play women. Why he threw out all their credibility? Gary Owen caught strays. I don't even know what he did. He was like, how is Gary Owen white, but he can't cross over into a white audience? Apparently, Kevin Hart is an industry plant. Low-key, I agree with, because if you know what comedians go through, they go through a lot to even get a TV show or a movie, whatever. Out the gate, he gets his big role in Hollywood. Oh no, low-key, he's cooking right. I've never seen Shannon so shook, bro. He was twiddling his thumbs. He kept taking the drink. That boy was stressed.
Never in my life have I seen people so upset over this interview right here. And it's not for the reasons that you think. Now, before I get into this, bravo. Shannon Sharpe, he probably conducted the interview of the year. And I understand 2024 just pulled up, but the information KATT Williams just spilled in this 3-hour episode alone, man, it was insane. It's just that a good amount of people are starting to question Shannon's journalistic integrity. And quite honestly, I never ever viewed him as a journalistic figure or somebody that should abide by the rules of journalism. He's just a former athlete that's a part of a media network, which is frankly a good 50-60% of analysts nowadays. People are saying that he didn't have enough pushback, his questions weren't as precise as it should be. But quite honestly, we still got a great interview. He exposed a lot of stories that didn't need a lot of words to be told. Shannon just let him speak his truth. I think this just shows me that we're at a point in life where journalists are starting to become viewed as boring. So I feel like I could give a little insight to what I just said. I feel like the biggest issue for some journalists is that they go way too much on script, if that makes sense.
If you haven't seen it, you've been living under a rock. KATT Williams went on Shannon Sharpe's podcast, Club Shay Shay, and nobody was safe, brother. Nobody. Here's my thing. KATT talked about Cedric the Entertainer. He talked about D.L. Hughley, and good and bad. I'm not just saying this isn't all bad. He talked about Mark Curry, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley. My name came up. Tiffany Haddish, Wanda Smith. Let me think. Am I forgetting? The thing is, he comes in guns a-blazing. It's not even like a feeling out portion of the show. KATT just came in and immediately went in on Ricky. It all started with Friday. As I'm watching it, here's the thing about KATT. We all got opinions on comedians, and KATT doesn't hold his opinion back. He did say one thing. He talked about Ricky Smiley, and he talked about when Ricky Smiley went on Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharpe's podcast, which is a great podcast, especially for, I know I'm a white guy, but for my demographics, and I'll get into that in a minute, what KATT said about me, but for my demographics, you know, Club Shay Shay, I'd rather go on Club Shay Shay than Joe Rogan. Even though, okay, I got to get into I got to unpack this podcast because KATT made a comment where he said, why you think Gary Owen, who's a white guy, has been doing stand-up for 25 years, hasn't crossed over. When he said it, I was like, wait a minute, was that a good thing or bad thing? I literally had to go to Twitter and start asking people, was I catching strays or what was that? And they was like, no, they were saying you haven't sold your soul. That's why you haven't crossed over. You've been consistently you, and that's why you haven't, quote unquote, crossed over. So I was like, oh, okay, that made sense. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but I've been, I was in an awkward situation one time where I can't say for 100% this person was trying to make me do something, casting couch type deal, but it felt like it. And I was like, is this that point where I've always heard, would you for $1 million? And I was thinking to myself, and I was in this office in this room going, well, I'm about to answer this question. And the answer was no, I wouldn't. So now I listen, I can't say for 100% that's where it was going, but it felt like it. It felt like it. You got to be in the room to feel it. And I was like, oh, this dude is really coming on to me. This is happening in real life. The dude did it, and he'll always remain nameless. I think he was feeling me out. Like, is this dude? And this was years ago. I was young in the game, but I was just like, wait a minute, is this happening right now? I was like, oh my god. And then I was like, I made sure I made it very clear. I like women. I'm not going that route. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm not gonna get into it. But I was wondering. I was like, ooh, is this happening to me right now in real life? So
y'all, I'm perplexed. This is a top 5 podcast interview of all time already. It has over 3 million views in 12 hours. This is rivaling like radio interviews like Soulja Boy and The Breakfast Club. This is the greatest podcast interview since freaking Kanye West on Drink Champs. And people are talking about Shannon Sharpe has poor interview skills. People are saying he didn't challenge KATT Williams at all. This man let KATT Williams feel so comfortable. KATT Williams told 15 different stories on one podcast. He talked for 3 hours and it felt like it was 20 minutes. So instead of letting Shannon Sharpe cook up and have one of the best interviews of all time, making his interviewee feel that comfortable, so we want Andrew Huberman now from freaking Shannon Sharpe. I don't want that. I don't give a rip where KATT Williams is from. I want to hear KATT Williams tell all the stories and all the juicy secrets that he has. He let him cook up and he did it in only 3 hours.
This KATT Williams interview exposes a ton. Let's just start with some small stuff. He goes off about Kevin Hart and about how as soon as he showed up, everything was red carpet for him, the whole 9 yards. Movies, shows, the whole 9. And then he even goes as far as to call him a plant. Then he talks about Steve Harvey and all those dudes that run in Steve Harvey's circle all have the exact same setup as far as their life is concerned. The certain kind of wife that never does interviews, the blah, 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 the blah. How did they all get that exact same package is what he called it, basically. Then he goes on to talk about Harvey Weinstein offering what in front of his whole crew, and he said no. So now we're starting to get into what do they have to do in order to get these packages? What do they have to do in order to be approved as a plant? That's why we always talk about people selling their souls. This is perfect timing because the Jeffrey Epstein stuff is coming out, and Jeffrey Epstein was essentially the place where you would sell your soul. It's a honeypot operation where you come there, they record you doing something inappropriate, and then they have leverage over your behavior in the future, so you're a safe person they can give power to knowing they can control you. Come to this party, get drunk, send in the 17-year-old. Crazy party last night, huh? Here's the video of it. Yeah, so here's a really nice contract, and we're going to need you to support BLM on Twitter. That's exactly what they do to all the celebrities. That's exactly what they do to all the politicians. Why you think Kevin Hart was telling Kelly Clarkson on her interview to shush when she was talking about people offering millions of dollars to do stuff she didn't want to do? They control everything. What do you think Dave Chappelle's been talking about? Kanye said the same thing about Harley. Kanye got out of line. Hope this helps you see it a little bit better now. Thanks, KATT Williams. You're a real one.
In a recent episode of Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay podcast, KATT Williams, a renowned and often controversial comedian, took center stage, providing a raw and unfiltered perspective on a multitude of topics. Williams, known for his outspoken nature, did not hold back, offering candid insights into racism, the COVID-19 pandemic, mental health, his personal experiences with Islam, and notably the alleged dark underbelly of the entertainment industry. Williams' podcast journey unfolds as a captivating narrative, beginning with his scathing criticism of the entertainment industry's implicit expectations and the compromises some make for fame. The overarching theme revolves around the idea of selling one's soul for success in Hollywood. The podcast begins with Williams addressing the issue head-on, delving into the alleged puppetry of comedian Kevin Hart. Williams claims that Hart, a massive success in the industry, has succumbed to the pressures of Hollywood, describing him as a puppet manipulated by unseen forces. This accusation sets the tone for an exploration into the perceived Faustian bargains made by some celebrities. Another significant revelation targets Cedric the Entertainer, who Williams accuses of selling his soul to none other than Steve Harvey. This claim adds a layer of complexity to the narrative, suggesting a hierarchy or control system within the industry. Williams implies that the interconnected relationships between entertainers involve a transactional nature that compromises authenticity and artistic freedom. The narrative takes a compelling turn when Williams discusses Tyler Perry, a prominent figure in the entertainment world. According to Williams, Perry, despite achieving tremendous success, faced consequences for his alleged decision to sell his soul. Williams touches upon Perry's ostracization by the industry, hinting at the repercussions that may accompany such a choice. The comedian doesn't stop there. He extends his accusations to fellow comedians Tiffany Haddish and Steve Harvey, claiming they too have made deals that involve compromising their authenticity for fame. This broad indictment serves as a reflection of the broader entertainment landscape, where Williams suggests that selling one's soul is a widespread phenomenon. Crucially, Williams positions himself as an outlier in this narrative. He asserts that he has not succumbed to the pressures of the industry, standing firm in his commitment to speaking the truth. In doing so, he paints a picture of resilience and independence, positioning himself as a lone warrior against the system that, in his view, demands conformity. This podcast not only serves as Williams' platform to air his grievances, but also opens a window into the murky dynamics of fame and success in the entertainment industry. It raises questions about authenticity, the price of success, and the often unseen struggles faced by those who navigate the complex web of Hollywood. In essence, Katt Williams' revelation in the Club Shay Shay podcast are a bold and filtered exploration of the shadows that lurk behind the glamour of the entertainment industry. Whether or not one agrees with Williams' claims, the podcast undoubtedly sparks conversations about the sacrifices, compromises, and battles waged behind the scenes of fame. Katt Williams, who has been involved with Islam since a teenager, was introduced to the religion by his older brother. He converted to Islam after serving in the military. Williams joined the Nation of Islam for empowerment and self-reliance and adopted the name Mika Abdullah. He said that Islam helped him cope with the challenges and hardships of his life, such as poverty, arthodicism, and addiction with substances. He also said that Islam taught him to be humble, grateful, and respectful of others. Williams has often expressed his views on Islam and other religions in his stand-up comedy and interviews. He has made jokes about the stereotypes and misconceptions that Muslims face in America, such as being associated with terrorism, violence, and oppression. He has also defended Islam as a peaceful and tolerant religion that respects diversity and freedom. He has praised some of his fellow Muslim comedians, such as Dave Chappelle and Hassan Minhaj, for their courage and honesty in speaking out against injustice and discrimination. He has also criticized some of his non-Muslim peers, such as Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey, for allegedly mocking Islam and stealing jokes from other Muslim comics. Williams has also shared some of his personal experiences and stories related to Islam, such as how he performed the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca, in 2006, and how he met some of his idols and mentors, such as Muhammad Ali and Louis Farrakhan, the leader of the Nation of Islam. He has also talked about some of the challenges and conflicts that he faced as a Muslim in the entertainment industry, such as how he was pressured to compromise his faith and values, and how he was ostracized and slandered by some of his colleagues and critics. He has also revealed some of the doubts and questions that he had about his faith, and how he sought guidance and clarity from various sources, such as the Quran, the Hadith, and other Muslim scholars and leaders. Katt Williams in this podcast is basically throwing shots at the people in the entertainment industry. The entertainment industry is a broad term that refers to the various businesses and activities that produce, distribute, and exhibit different forms of entertainment, such as movies, TV shows, music, video games, books, and more. The entertainment industry is part of the tertiary sector of the economy, which provides services rather than goods. The entertainment industry is also known as show business or showbiz, and it involves many sub-industries such as film, broadcasting, music, literature, digital media, and more. The entertainment industry is one of the most influential and profitable sectors in the world, as it shapes the culture, values, and preferences of billions of people. As we wrap up this exploration into Katt Williams' revelations on Club Shay Shay, it's clear that the comedian has opened the Pandora's box, unraveling the complexities within the entertainment industry. The accusations of selling one's soul for fame raises thought-provoking questions about authenticity and the price some pay for success. Now it's over to you, the viewers. What are your thoughts on Katt Williams' claims? Do you believe there's truth in his narratives, or do you see them as a mere reflection of the complexities within Hollywood? Engage with us in the comment section below, share your perspectives, and let's continue this conversation. Don't forget to like this video if you found it insightful, and subscribe for more deep dives into intriguing topics. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the shadows of the entertainment industry. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the narratives that shape our world.